panini. Don't you be a meanie. Thought you wanted me to go.
Yeah, the best way to get with an Aquarius woman is to be her friend. And Aquarius kind of has a reputation for being one of the boys, for being because like I said, they hold no discrimination with friends. So she could be one of the boys. So don't get intimidated if she has a lot of guy friends. Aquarius is like the Sagittarius. This woman likes to keep things lighthearted. She likes her freedom. She loves her independent. She likes independence. She doesn't like when people try to control her or tell her what to do. She values independence, and she wants you to be the same way. She wants you to be independent and carefree. Like I said, she's like Sagittarius, where they like to keep things lighthearted. So foundation is everything, right? So like I said, before I move on to the next topic, be her friend. That's the best way. Even if she has a man, if this woman already has her man, and you're like, man, she already has her boyfriend, she could probably leave her boyfriend for you. Like I said, she doesn't like commitment. She's like the Sagittarius woman, so she doesn't like commitment. This woman is an air sign, so that means they tend to think about, the reason why they don't like commitment is because they tend to think about all of the possibilities that could happen in life. And to an Aquarius, there's so much more that she has to do with her life than her thinking about staying with one person for the rest of her life. And there's a lot of things to think about that she wants to do. Like I said, she could talk about aliens, cults, she could talk about conspiracy theories. So this woman's mind is not all about relationships. She's not a hopeless romantic. She's not all about a relationship. So don't be intimidated by her friends. Don't be intimidated if she already has a man. And foundation is everything. So be her friend, really be her friend. Even if she breaks up with her boyfriend and gets with another boyfriend, still text her like, hey, how are you? Be her friend. Smoke weed with her, hang out if she's that type of girl. And more than likely, this Aquarius woman, she tends to fall in love with her friends. So this Aquarius, her relationships could start with friendship. Like, this dude could be her friend. You know what I mean. She's like one of the boys, and she usually starts relationships with one of her friends, or so she prefers. And like I said, they're not thinking about a lifelong romantic relationship. Don't get me wrong, she might like it, but she's not thinking about it. Aquarius woman is more thinking about a lifelong friend. A lifelong friend. So be her friend, even if she's in all kinds of relationships. Don't get discouraged. Be her friend. And she's more than likely to start having feelings for you. Because like I said, Aquariuses, they tend to fall in love with their friends. So, and if you are her man and she has a Pacific guy friend that she calls all the time, she's more than likely to have all kinds of male friends though. But if you kind of notice something like he likes her or it's a little too much, you should be worried, because like I said, Aquariuses tend to fall in love with their friends. So it's like a weird thing, because you don't want to discriminate, because she's an Aquarius and she will have a lot of male friends that she does not like as a boyfriend. She really is one of the boys, and she could be one of the boys, but then she does tend to fall in love with one of her friends. So just be a little wary, but do not try to control her or take away her independence. Also, when this woman does start to have feelings, she could there's a possibility that this woman, she could run away. Like, she could actually even cut it off. Like I said, this is the most detached sign of the whole zodiac. So if she's starting to like, they're very famous for like when they start to have feelings, like, uh-oh, I'm feeling things, I have to cut this off. And they could ghost you, they could not talk to you, they could act weird, they could run away from you, because Aquarius is, they don't like I said, independent. They love their freedom. They don't like to be controlled. And also, they don't like to be controlled by emotions. So like a Cancer, a Scorpio, a Pisces, we love our emotions and we are controlled by them. But Aquarius, they do not like to be controlled by other people, and they don't like to be controlled by their own emotions. So this woman can also be annoying. She could be emotionally detached. She could cut her family off, cut people off. And she could be annoying in a way where she never talks about emotions or talks about things. Like, she could be a big time suppressor. She could suppress a lot of shit and a lot of emotions. Like I said, she likes to keep things light-hearted. So she could even suppress her crush on you. So be careful. Like, they could run away if they start to like you. They don't like to be controlled by her feelings. Also, another little warning, when they do fall in love, when an Aquarius is in love, or they do love you, they could be very, very turbulent. You know, when you're on an airplane and you're riding that airplane and all of a sudden a storm comes and they're like, uh-oh, it's turbulence, we might crash. There's a lot of like fog and rain. So this is the air sign. Aquarius is the air sign. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but she could be very turbulent. So this woman could be very feisty. Like, once you get in a relationship with her, I don't know about like domestic violence, but she could probably try to fight you. She could be very turbulent. She could like scream and yell and hit you and fight you. If your sister-in-law or mother-in-law don't like her, she will not think twice. She will put her hands on them and argue with them and cuss you out like a sailor, and cuss them out like a sailor. She could be very turbulent in relationships, okay? And this is a woman, another warning, this is a woman that loves to argue. This is a fix. I should have said this in the beginning. I was meaning to say it in the beginning, but this is a fixed water sign. So fixed means like when you're fixated on something, when you're obsessed, right? When you're obsessed with something. So if I'm staring at a cup and I'm fixated on it, I'm watching it like I'm obsessed with it. So she could be fixated with her ideas, with her opinion, with her thoughts. She's very much like the Taurus woman. It could be a lot, and it could actually be never that this woman ever changes her mind about her opinion on you, about her idea, about her theory. And it could be hard with at least Taurus, with this department. At least Taurus, sorry, I have it on my mouth. Sorry. At least Taurus is a practical sign, but Aquarius is the odd sign. They're unconventional, and they can have weird thoughts and weird like ways of revenge and weird ways of arguing. They could even have weird ways of fighting. Like, they could probably fist fight you, but have weird ways of like attacking someone. They could be very violent, but weird, like unconventional. So yeah, so where was I going with that? They could be unconventional. Oh yeah, so at least Taurus, with their stubbornness, they're practical. But this woman is unconventional. So, and she's stubborn as a rock. And when she is fixated, no, she's stubborn as a rock and she's a fixed sign. So, fix basically means stubborn. And she's unconventional and she's kind of odd. So, it could be kind of weird if you are friends with her, if you're in a relationship with her, if she's your family member. You could be like, this is so wrong, this is unfair. The Libra woman is all about fairness and equality. But the Aquarius woman is unconventional and odd, so she could be totally wrong in situations. She could be totally wrong with her ways of revenge. She could be totally wrong with her opinion, but she is fixated and obsessed and stubborn. So it could be very hard to have a relationship with this woman, or like a harmony relationship, like a peaceful harmony relationship. It could be kind of hard. Your best bet, if you're their family member, if you're their love relationship, your best bet is to be their friend. So even if you're a family member, try to be their friend. Because they value friendship. So try to kind of treat them like you would a friend and respect them and treat them like your friend. A love relationship, be their friend first. Foundation is key. If they don't have that foundation, Aquariuses are an air sign. They're overthinkers and they will second guess to the moon and back. Okay, this is a woman who's an overthinker and will second guess everything. So be a foundation, be a friendship. That way, when she does get in a relationship with you, she's not overthinking. She's not looking at all her possibilities like, ooh, I could have been with this person, this person. I'm walking to the store, I see this person. If you are her friend for a long period of time, she doesn't really have to second guess, because she's like, man, I have an actual friendship. I have a bond. And she won't second guess that much, with that foundation. What else with Aquarius? She could be turbulent. I'm gonna look at my notes. Hold on. So with love relationships, they can quickly become overwhelmed with the relationship. So they could be like frustrated and like I said, they're kind of argumentative and they love to argue. These women will not back down from a fight or an argument, and they actually like to do it. Like they love to do it. They could make really good debaters, really good lawyers, really good debaters. And you could kind of notice, even as a child, the Aquarius woman, like how your mom says, don't talk back. She could have an issue with that and always talking back to others, and she could just love to argue. It could be very fun. Maybe even when she's bored, she could probably just like to argue. And that's because they're a fixed sign, so they're fixated on their opinions and their ideas. So they're really fixated on it. So they don't mind. They don't mind like really standing up. I'm gonna go back to where I was sitting. They don't mind really like arguing about their opinion, because like I said, they're obsessed with it. They're fixated on it. So they don't mind arguing about it because they're stubborn. So they can love to argue about it. Okay, so yeah, she completely gets overwhelmed with her. She could become quickly overwhelmed with a love relationship, and in turn, making you overwhelmed. So you could also become overwhelmed in the relationship. She's open, wants to be independent. This is a woman, she's not like the Scorpio, where the Scorpio dwells on the negative, or a person who kind of like a Cancer who sulks or wants to dwell on what's wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the the Aquarius woman, sorry, the Aquarius woman, she is like the Sagittarius, where she likes to keep things lighthearted. She likes to move on very quickly, not when she's enraged, because like I said, she likes to argue, and and she's stubborn, but sometimes, like, she won't dwell on her negative or bad emotions. She'll quickly move on. Like I said, she suppresses it. So she likes to be positive and lighthearted. This woman likes to be positive and lighthearted. And it could be a problem if she suppresses it too much, you know, because she's not talking about it, but in a way it's good, you know. You'll have a positive mate, a mate that is always laughing. She can have continuous ideas, continuing thoughts, and she's very creative. She could have just continuous conversation. I mean, she's an air sign, so she needs to be mentally stimulated, so you'll never get bored. She could easily, though, a little note is that she could easily become bored in relationships. So that's kind of an issue. So don't be scared to talk about anything. Aliens, and if you are weird or odd, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but let your freak flag, Marina. Oh my God, that's my daughter. Yeah, let your freak flag fly. Let your freak flag fly. Like, you could be odd, you could be weird, and the Aquarius woman is actually likes it. She's actually interested and she likes it. So, okay, also usually with this woman, marriage will come later on in life. Like I said, she's too involved in her friends and the community. She could be a humanitarian like with charity, and she could be very unconventional. So she could be part of like an alien club or a weird club. Or also, this woman can have an odd group of friends or like weird friends. Not in a bad way, but yeah, she could have different cultured friends. Then the next friend could be from a different culture and race, have different views, have different opinions. Like, she could have friends who are Trump supporters and then friends who are not Trump supporters, and then she could have those cool and trendy friends. So she doesn't discriminate, which is a good thing. So if you want that is a very good thing about her, that she doesn't discriminate. So if you're fat, if you're skinny, if you're from a different race, a different culture, she doesn't discriminate. She actually likes being different and odd. So also be honest with your opinions and your beliefs with her, because she is a very honest, and she would prefer you to be honest. Mainly so she could debate you. She will probably try to debate you and fight with you, and but don't be sensitive. Don't take it personal. She just does this for fun. She could probably even start laughing. So just be honest. Also, she may have an odd definition of relationships, and a very, like, she could even have unconventional